First day of the PDAC in Toronto. This is Frank Basa, and we're talking about Canada Cobalt Works. High-grade cobalt and silver exploration. Frank, please introduce our audience to what you're doing and what you have achieved so far.
We have a project. Our core asset is actually in Northern Ontario. It's in a cobalt camp, a famous camp in the early 1900s. In the early days, all they did was mine silver. So they took out a lot of silver, very high grades, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 ounces a ton, and cobalt, they threw it away. Okay. And I used to work for Agnico Eagle Mines in the cobalt camp in the 80s, and we developed a process to recover the cobalt. And then the price of silver collapsed, the president passed away, and then I picked up one of their highest grade silver mines called the Castle Mine. And the Castle Mine, in addition to silver, had a lot of cobalt. So since then, we've opened up the underground. We're the only ones in the cobalt camp that are underground. We've drilled underground, and the drilling underground has returned some very high silver and cobalt values. So silver was sometimes 100, 200, 300 ounces a ton. Cobalt, 5, 6, 7, 8% cobalt. In addition, we have nickel, we have copper, and we also found some gold. So we're going to carry on with our underground program. We're going to start dewatering the levels. We have 11 levels. We have 27 kilometers of exploration to be done underground, and we also doing some drilling on surface. We found, I think, a gold-copper discovery. Okay. I think there'll be some cobalt in there as well. And in addition, we're also working on the Retox process. We're the only ones in the cobalt camp that have produced cobalt sulfate, and we're also able to take all the arsenic out. All those three things are ongoing. In addition, we're doing all the studies to install a 600 ton per day mill on the castle property to process the rock from Canada Cobalt, from the area.
And of course, let me explain a few things. 5 to 6 grams cobalt. People are mining cobalt with 0.1 grams, depending, not from the underground probably, but depending on where you are, but 5 to 6% is exceptionally high.
Yeah, actually, when we originally designed this mine, we want to develop a resource at 1% cobalt. But the minute we produced the cobalt sulfate, our potential buyers, which were the Asians, came back and said, oh, we're also interested in nickel and manganese, which we both have in our property. So we might take the grade down because now they're paying us for the nickel and they're paying us for the manganese. In addition, we have a lot of silver and gold. So if we lower the grade, we have more tons of cobalt. Okay. At 1%, we feel we might have maybe 12,000 tons of cobalt at 1%. But if we take the grade down, then we increase it by an order of magnitude.
Okay, so very interesting. So you're advancing all that. How are you funded for all these plans? Do we have the money in the bank?
I was surprised, actually. We didn't have to raise any money because people keep on exercising these warrants. So we've kind of got almost $1 million from our warrants. And if anybody knows what we're like, we're very, very low cost. We don't run a head office. We run what we call a virtual office. Basically, any money we raise goes into the ground. So we're very cheap, very frugal, and we seem to put a lot of our money into the ground.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Well, that's what you expect of an exploration company, what you hope to get. Yeah. So we'll be checking in later to see how it all goes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay. It's a pleasure. Thanks.